And I know I've said it a couple of times, but breathe. Breathe to Secret fans, breathe to, well, any fans of teams in the APAC region, obviously. We're looking at now this bracket where FaZe and Falcons have got themselves seats in the upper bracket final. Then you've got Wildcard still flying that American flag, and SSG doing their best to fight for it on the other screen, but they've at least got one team confirmed. Waybo are all that is left of APAC here at SI 2026, and it is do or die.
Massive opportunity here for Waybo here today to make an impact, can get to the main stage, which, as we know, for this side, they've never done that as far as I'm aware in terms of main stage at Invitational. So yeah, it would be pretty big for Weibo. But for Secret, we know the capabilities of this team. I would say the favorite in this matchup, just because of the pedigree that they have. They've been able to win competitions. So I think for Team Secret, yeah, should come in as the favorites. So I think Weibo, as I suppose most APAC teams are, playing as that punchy underdog.
Well, punchy underdogs is sort of a story that they've made, but how does the history play against recent SIs? I had a quick word with the APAC legend himself, James Devmara. And sort of last year, top 12 for CAG. Year before, top 8 for Bliss. Year before, unfortunately, only top 20. All of the teams went home early. Then 22, top 12, 21, top 16. The last time an APAC team got a top 6 finish, it was 2020 with Fnatic and 2019 with Nora Rengo. So it would be the first time in half a decade, if Weibo win this, that APAC will be able to breach that top echelon, get themselves on towards the main stage. And it starts on their opponent's map, and it starts with Hoven trying to see if he can have a go inside Ops. He's obviously got the hatch to drop down. He can find himself safety, but you can see that there's some players moving underneath. They want to try and get the catch on him. It's Doom. Here's the Buck sort of making a statement, and at this point they'll have to either try and slip their way across or find the fight, or just try and tuck himself to some semblance of safety. The Buck doing his best to open up the pressure. They've still not forced him out. There's some of these keepers buying himself a bit of safety, but where can he go? What can he do? There's a trade out. Noah does get one, but Speakeasy gets Noah right back. Almost gets the head of the Buck, but Doom just keeps moving.
Yeah, this is a very hotly contested area, as expected, on this top floor, holding in towards Ops for as long as they can. And you can see that they've got that smoke and that Tachanka, and we know that the defense on this top floor bomb site is very, very strong with the denial that you can utilize in the later stages of it. They're going to be using the smokes and the Tachanka in and around the mid-game. So they're just going to try and stall them out of the building entirely if they can. Speakeasy going aggressive now, moving deeper in towards Ops and looking for that engagement. It is going to be the shield of Savage, who actually has rotated away now, so perhaps a switch up here from Secret, realizing that we can't go up through Rocket. We can't get ourselves in a position where the Tachanka is going to be null and void. And look at this, a ping, a drone has been left, and almost the Tachanka gets picked off, but Speakeasy is out of there. But like I said, it's that rotate. Maybe they're thinking about going back because they do have a bit of information on where the Tachanka is, but they need to get a move on, Secret. 30 seconds left.
That's it. 30 seconds. They've got to try and push the pedal to the metal. There's still a lot of work to be done. Mowgli's prepped up on the door, but look how empty B is. They can just try and move in towards the site. The players have entirely forgone it. They're going to see if they can try and find the swing out fight elsewhere, and Reaps gets Doom on the back, but in the meantime, they've taken over the site itself. Here, Demo. They're going to go for the plant. There needs to be some pressure from Weibo. Just have a response towards what is otherwise an entirely unknown take. There's a very scrappy fight that goes away from them. A 2 versus 3. But as Savage slips his way out to the safety of Art Window, they're having to hop in and offer some support. He's down! And Reaps. He was our comparison at the start.
Let's go, let's go.
And he's setting the bar high with a triple.
Good. Very good.
Really good start for Weibo. Really good start. Obviously playing with that heavy denial in the early stages of that round, using the Tachanka, using the smoke. And I mean, there was definitely a period where Secret didn't really know what they wanted to do. Didn't want to go in towards Ops. There was just too much going on. They thought maybe we could go back and pick them up with a Buck.
like playing very aggro, and that's like try to like get more involved. Like either take a gap on your side of the map or just play or like I'll just come with us, you know, because if they run for the control side so aggro, and they're gonna give others other gaps on the map, you know, like they have to.
They're there from Savage. Wants them to make more plays, look for the gaps, look for the opportunities. He's got the players to do so. I mean, it's not often Mowgli misses an opportunity like that.
No.
That was a big kill, of course. Allowed Waybo to have that man advantage for the retake.
Waybo get the first, but it's obviously going to be a long series. There's two teams, as I said before, they have met. They've both made marks and made their own on the international stage this year. They've got themselves competitive. And here, Weibo, they're able to just get that first one locked down. Again, with the style of how things piece together, right? With looking at how there was the opportunity striking. It's something that we've talked about with Secret a lot. Obviously, we cast them in within the region. They're always a team that tries to find opportunities. They're always a team that tries to find avenues to drive in towards the site. And here, that was maybe a bit of a bait of play. You said it at the start. These two teams, Demo, they've got similar styles in some manners.
Yeah, the map preferences are very similar for Weibo, but apart from a couple of outliers, mostly being the bank, for example. But hey, I think Secret's always going to be the preferred team on a bank, no matter who they come up against after the way they dismantle G2 as well to knock them out. But certainly whenever it comes to Lair, again, both teams having that mixed result. It's a good map, it's a bad map, just depends on the day, really. It's like the weather, forever changing. But a minute gone. Not a lot has happened across the map. Secret working through the motions of a large roam clear. Again, it's Lair, it's a big map. We know that it takes time to clear everything out. But, of course, looking at their operator selection, double soft destruction, they want to get in, use that verticality as best as they can. I mean, don't think Weibo's doing a massive hold apart from just kind of the staircases at the moment. And speaking of the staircase, I think one player has just been obliterated on said staircase with an aid.
Yeah, look at that. The second follows suit. There goes Hoven, there goes Reaps, and there goes your Smokes. And, well, the Goyo's probably already done his job, but still, no trade, no contest from the side here of Secret. They went for a similar play, but the other way around, it's a bit of an upside-down take, and you can see that the Clash is trying to make friends. Speakeasy swings up yellow with some support coming from Arpe. They're going to see if they can maybe try and get a body, but almost a bit of a pinch. But now they know Clash is isolated. Doom can get Arpe on the cover. The Clash is just a sitting duck. And Turd, alone in a 1 versus 5 with about a minute. And pretty much all the utility, because they haven't really used it, but at this point they can just try and charge down. Noah,
Nice.
all right.
Let's go.
Okay.
Wasn't perfect.
I was going to say.
He killed his teammate. Can't be perfect.
Perfect.
9.5 out of 10.
It's part of the plan. You don't understand. It's part of the plan. So I said they also met, obviously, at the Major. They did meet at EWC as well, slightly earlier on in the year, where Secret, as we said before, have been able to claim their prize on an international stage. And that, as well, was a 2-0 for Secret. This has been a team that has twice stumped Weibo's approach and their progression throughout it. We talk about the teams that haunt Secret. Well, maybe secrets are what Weibo really dislike. 1-1, traded a piece. And to be fair, it felt a little bit simple for points at Secret. They set themselves up. They know, again, how well each other plays. They know how each other likes to play. They're pushing towards what they were holding, the pressure they could try and apply. And it was just sort of the limitation. It was just the, oh, well, we know they're going to make this move. We've got this cup. They were able to pick up the smoke as well quite early. And it'll be that, I think. It'll be that as it develops throughout this series.
So the very swift rotation from the bottom floor into the basement. Now we head in towards the fun bomb site of that mid floor. Always the guessing game of what's the attack going to be. We've seen it done plenty of times before where teams will want to go direct, try and scam their way into the bomb site using the sense, using smokes, using whatever they can. But there is still always that element of trying to take above. And, I mean, based on the operator selection of Secret, I think maybe the roam clear could be good for them. You've got the Ying, you've got the Grim. So, in terms of pressuring that top floor, yeah, it's there in abundance. Savage can lead the charge with the shield. The only thing you have to be careful of course, if you are Savage on these shields is, I mean, look, if you're obviously a team who wants to play in towards those shields, they're going to bring traps. You know, your opponents are going to try and counter that.
Time to ring some
You can see they're just trying to find a bit of space. And this is a site where obviously holding on towards green. Keeping that back line is something that you expect to be pushed regardless of the take, whether it's something that starts across the top as it is, the blinds roll out, they peel back or not. You're expecting the anchor player on the back, but it's actually Mowgli that suffers a bit as Turd suffers back. It's back and forth, but Noah finds the end of the first player, and there's actually a rotate coming around the bottom of the rocket stairs. There's a Blackbeard under pressure, but Mowgli is the release valve. Takes the header for one. The plant's being confirmed. Speakeasy has to pay attention to what is going on above the site. Doesn't even... Oh, just stops it in time. Seconds away, Doom inside the smoke. But with the utility dumps now, no more smoke canisters. They'll just have to operate with what they've got. Big utility dump. They did take 2 bodies. They do have this man advantage. They have to try and play the trade on the sole players remaining above. He's doing his best, but he can't quite do enough. Mowgli is down, but Savage keeps pushing. Now it's split. Now it's Reaps alone. And a minute, again a minute, a cursed minute for Waybo to survive in a 1 versus 5.
Oh, Reaps. How have you got yourself into this then, buddy, eh? 1v5, DMR. Good for 1. That's it. Noah. Easy cleanup.
If there wouldn't have been the fucking bulletproof.
Oh my god. No way, I killed the guy who killed.
So Doom's theory there was a bulletproof that stopped him getting his plant down, and to be fair, we saw how close it was. Credit to the defenders for being able to find that, but there was just so much pressure above getting that first body, and then the second follow through as well, and the attempt to flank rocket stairs. It just shows how aware Secret are.
What I love as well, what I've noticed in a lot of the kind of little moments where we've been able to hear the team, some people be talking about, you know, this and this and this, and every time Mowgli's like, did you see how I killed him? Did you see how I killed this guy? He's like the little brother who wants to go, look what I've did. That's great, Mowgli. Well done.
Watch me dive. Watch me dive. I mean, 2-1 Secret on their attack here on Lair. This was their map, but you worry when you're looking at Border as the follow-through. You worry that it's the map that they've played before, that Secret won as the second map in a sort of 2-0. And you worry with this continuing. It's teams that, you know, as we said, they've sort of been back and forth. Lair itself, statistically, it's kind of even. The problem is when you look at Waybo, their attack falls off a bit, but at the same time, so does Secret's defense. Their rate is only a 30% success. So they're desperately going to try and get themselves those 4 rounds on this half and just buy themselves not only that safety net for where they've fallen apart in what is a 3-3 even split, but also get themselves that little bit of momentum. They beat Space Station on it, obviously, in this tournament, but lost to G2, lost to M80.
That's the ban from Secret, the Tachanka. Caused Savage a big old headache with trying to get into the building. He had that aggressive Tachanka behind the shield, denying access to the ops door, the only way in. And oh dear, look at that. Speakeasy has had a tumble. The air jab came in and Savage collects an easy pick. That's a great start. The clash gone, and we know how strong that operator is whenever it comes to holding top mez. That is a dream start if you're Team Secret.
Yeah, I mean, great pinch, great use of utility, and the perfect person to remove from the equation to make it a little bit more simple maths. Noah finds Reaps as well, and Waybo just being shut down every which way. Secret at this point, they can take control of the walkway, they can pose themselves up alongside the side of the site. Obviously, this is the place where things started in one direction, and Arpe is going to see if he can try and just get things leveled back up. But Savage is about to try and make a friend. There's the reveal and the you got to get out of here. Forced up the stairs to 4 versus 3, almost a even hand as a sort of razor bloom pops onto 1, but Arpe pops the other way, gets the head of the shield off, screamed his way upstairs and right into trouble. Secret The advantage they've had has filtered away. No more verticality, no more shield.
Oh dear, an issue for Secret Ape, causing a lot of problems. Went for that flank, but the fact he's been able to pick up Savage, that shield, that driving force, who just wants to bully their way into this round. And somehow has also been able to escape. But I think for Secret, they're not too bothered now because they know they're still in a position where they can try and work a plant. There's no denial that we can see from Waybo. The only problem is this guy behind the desk. We know these Azamir barriers can just make this a nightmare to try and attack.
Especially without the buck underneath to try and clear, as they've done before. They've got to take this laterally. They've got to try and drive through the player. Mowgli takes a bit more damage. They've got the breach open. We saw some impact play against it, but it's just waiting time, wasting time, waiting the utility there. Keeps the pressure on. He's still got one in pocket as well. Adrian suffers the next little blow. More razor blooms, more problems, and, well, more of that bleed out, that debuff that now exists. Mowgli took a step too far, and Hoven locked him out the office. And with only 6 seconds left, he's sprinting in with the pistol to a certain doom. Leveled up, but they've only made it their mark on one site.
Winning the top floor again.
Again, like that round, we're just going on to the nose. I don't want nose. It's the same thing. Someone is getting played on, or we're trying to make a punch, just do it. Like, we could have jumped in bathroom there, we could have pushed guys, just do it. If we play all at the same time, it's going to be a free game. If we are hesitant, like we are scared to play, we are like overthinking, don't overthink, guys, just destroy them. We have a plan there.
Being defused by attackers.
Don't overthink.
Don't ever think.
Don't hesitate.
Just do it.
Destroy them. They'll try.
Put it on a t-shirt.
They'll try. But look, like I said, dream start for Secret. Gotta be closing that out. And I mean, Ape obviously just has to make a play. Able to pick up June because he had to run away from the Razor Bloom. And then that kill was the kicker. Nothing to remove the player in behind the desk. We knew that was always going to end in tears for Secret.
Yep.
But you mentioned Weibo, only good for the 2 sites, and they're not allowed to go back there again.
That's it. I said they were sort of angling for the 4T, but at this point, with this sort of situation, Secret, with that conversation, as brief as we heard it, they need to just have a bit more confidence in themselves. We saw Mowgli sort of get in the site and then take a passive angle with the hope. Weibo aren't going to just sit there. Weibo are going to swing. They will look for engagements as much as anybody does. They thrive in them with the players that they have. And Secret need to make sure that they just don't give room to that sort of play style before they find themselves, as I said, on their worst half on this map. Weibo, well, they're statistically better on their defense, but it's making things connect. Remember last time they sort of got picked apart a little bit here. And then they tried to get aggressive, get a bit of revenge. Ooh, didn't quite get the utility there. We saw the Razor Blooms do 2 little decent chunks of damage before. Obviously, she got the changes, the buffs, just before we came into this tournament. Her pick rate has absolutely skyrocketed, because before it was 0. So the only way was up.
Activating drone.
All quiet again in that first minute. For Secret, different approach instead of the vertical game, which worked out really well for them. Looks to be more of a horizontal take. You can see them all scattered around, and here we go. Ingo Savage popping the nade to get rid of the shield. He will, however, be slowed down, though, with that Razor Bloom. He's going to have to wait for a while until he gets his legs back.
Oh, Nur and Doom find their cross, and that leaves Arpe in a bit of a sticky situation. Friends with a Blackbeard with a grenade, and no friends come to save his life. Arpe and Reaps get one apiece, but he has hit the floor, and the retake doesn't quite work. Reaps toe-to-toe with a Blackbeard who turns his back. It's a 2 versus 1. They're either side, though, and you can see the pings come out, but where does he go? There's a minute, and he's somehow found a rotate. He's somehow found safety.
Oh,
and he's somehow misthrown it. He wants to try and hit this, buy himself a second to recapitulate, replace, and reassess. In the meantime, Noah and Mowgli, they've doubled up. They're droning, they're rechecking. There's at least a Goyo on the floor here that they can use to try and buy themselves a bit more time if they want to peel back, but they're going to double up pressure here on this side. Try and take him by surprise round the side, hit it immediately after the fire, and you can see he's repositioned once again. There's one, but he can't quite get there.
Good shit, guys. Good shit. Let's go. avec de trade.
Step by step, guys. Step by step. Let's go.
1v2 almost for Reaps. The important thing there from Secret was they doubled up together. Reaps was not expecting both of them to run through the same door. And that's what's caught him by surprise. He thought, oh, I've picked up one. Now I come back, I reload, I pivot, I get set for the 1v1. No, they're already on you straight away. You heard there from Secret, step by step. That has really been, I think, their motto for the majority of the games that they went for. Especially that's been the game plan from Twister. That's what he's tried to push onto his team.
Step by step. And that puts them at least guaranteed an even half. As I said, with the stats, they'll probably want to get themselves at least one more before they turn themselves over. And, you know, you're looking at always, we've talked about how Border was this map they played before. There's always work to be done. There's always work to be done in terms of the performance, how maps can grow, in terms of a team's play style, how they like to sort of get themselves locked in. The layers that we've had from these two teams throughout this tournament, Furia dispatched Waybo on it, 7-4, and Waybo in that time were only able to get one attack on their second half. In the same breath, Secret, they were able to sort of push Space Station Gaming aside 7-3, but most of that was on the attack. It was a 5-1 attacking half, and then, you know, struggled a little bit with their defense, but got there in the end. There's always elements of each other's game they'll have responses to. For all they know about each other, for all we've said, there's similarities. That means those differences, that Where's Wally of violence that they can sort of pull apart of each other's strategies with analysts and such, will stand out even brighter. But 3-2. Almost a clutch there for Reaps. Not to be found. And instead, you look at this sort of side. Noah's obviously having a great game, off to a great start here for a backline player, for not usually the name that leads in. But I think he was also the MVP when these two teams met internationally in the middle of the year in Riyadh.
Again, just a different approach once more from Secret. Bringing the Brava in, not looking for that same kind of shield gameplay that we've been used to so far for Secret. So it is just about, I think, gap spotting here for Savage. I think that's why he switched over to the Brava, see if he can hack a bit of utility, and then that opens things up. You know, if you get rid of a Banshee in the right place at the right time, a lot of chaos can ensue after that. But Savage just gaining good information, not seeing much. Noah with an opening pick. 8-3 now is where he sits. I think if somebody just had a swing, if somebody had a peek, yeah, more or less. I mean, that would have been Reaps holding an angle onto that breach, but he's been picked off because of that.
Well, I mean, he's a player that's all or nothing, right? We know what Reaps can do. We know what he's done for the roster, and we also know what Turd can do as well. Ape out the building. Takes the head off of Adrian, and in a fell swoop, they've removed the Ying, the Candelas. They've removed whatever else was in the pocket of the Ace, and yeah, they've still got hard breach. They can still get the site opened up, but now they're going to try and push above in a 3 versus 4 situation. Self-blind in hopes that they can sort of blind luck themselves to a kill, but they're not having any of it. They're going to put the pressure on themselves, force him further back, and double up. In the meantime, the players are Secret, very spread out. Doom's alone on the backside of the site, holding on towards green, waiting and hoping. Savage cuts himself against Ops. And Mowgli stuck on the stairs, and it's actually Doom. The surprise of Doom keeps perpetually punishing teams that go against him. A balanced swap, a 4-3-2. And with 30 seconds, they can start trying to hunt down the last.
Oh, he's been spotted. Turd. They know where he is, and the only way he can go is to try and fight them. That's not going to happen. And a 1v3 for Hoven, who he's getting lit up in the middle of the bomb site. Looking towards the hatch, trying to cover up some of the holes from above him. But with 10 seconds, you can see Secret now starting to slowly inch their way. And Hoven has a peek, fires an impact. They need to try and find him. Secret. 4 seconds, 3 seconds, and down. Oh! No way! Hoven!
Come on.
How?
Let's go, guys.
Back up against the wall, and he just keeps firing the punches. Secret How? How?
You can never count them out. You can never count them out. The team, the players at this level, and the region couldn't have danced a finer dance to a more deadly, quick tempo song. Couldn't have had less but enough to work with. The Kiba cover, the play of the impactor down, the player on the door, the limitations of space. We saw the rotate to green. We saw the opportunity attempts. And we saw a man pull off a clutch they write about in storybooks.
It just makes no sense. I can't make heads or tail of it.
Here it was. I mean, how the round started and sort of set itself up to him, just getting the man trapped, as I said. So he had that, he'd got the down, they'd gone for the swing, and they just couldn't time it. And it almost ties back to what we overheard Secret talk about and Savage saying, we just need to go in.
I felt like that during parts of that round, where people looked very timid in terms of how they went about things. Even Mowgli and Rocket Stairs, you know, was just a little bit, should I push, should I not?
Yep.
Very hesitant in terms of what he wanted to do. I mean, he wasted 2 flashbangs and he didn't really get any value out of it.
An even half. For how seemingly at points Secret have held onto the control or not. And for how the question was, can Waybo make it stick on a second site? The answer was almost no. But the answer was almost no a couple of times. Because there was also the, almost Reaps clutch the round before. They've just got a sort of foot on the gas and they're ready to send the car if they need to. But now it's the pressure the other side of it. As I said before, recency bias is that Secret aren't quite as sharp on their defense here. And that's going to be something Weibo can try and put the pressure on towards. The difference is, have they already, had a bit of a mental swap? Is 3-3 enough for Secret in their own heads a little? Time will tell. It's always the sort of risks and the runarounds. When you look at the grander, wider scheme, in terms of the defensive win rate, Secret, one of the best teams in the tournament, 3rd best. But do you know who the best attackers are? It's Weibo, highest attack success rate of any team at SI 26. Now it's time for them to prove it.
Big old half coming up. Secret need to try and respond after that last round. They'll be kicking themselves thinking, should have been a 4-2. Jum. Now that is a sneaky position. Thrown inside the lobby. Reception? Jum, is that a new job for you? The receptionist? Is that what we're calling him?
Well, Arpe's scared of the intensity of the fire and fair play falls back. They don't have that watch from underneath, and a C4 will sort of make that swing on that door so much more dangerous. So now, as soon as they pass, they've got to make sure nobody's underneath. They've got to make sure Doom isn't holding onto the angle. Oh, that's one way of doing it. Tut! Locks him down from the door, but with a minute 10, they still haven't got themselves into walkway. The cross breach still isn't open. There's no pressure on green. Fine, the Yoss is set up, but it only takes, a single sort of swing round a side of the C4 to get the lock on, and then there's always fire you can bounce. No impacts for destruction, but the way they've set up inside the site is, I think it's fair to call, pretty aggressive. Built himself a corner and hoping that they can hold on, but 50 seconds. Weibo, where will they circle this?
Well, they're still making the holes in towards the site, and just bear in mind who has the diffuser. Speak easy on that Ossa, so ideally he wants to get himself into position where he can place the shield and then simply go for the plant. Noah, big old pick. That's the art player dead, who we know is great at cutting out the rotations.
Just drove in from the open breach to 2 versus 1. Suddenly, they've been able to get themselves back round, but they don't have the kit. And that's that main problem with 14 seconds and Savage putting themselves in the 1 versus 1. The C4 over the top almost does enough, but round the side of the Kiba, around the back of the plant. Savage, he's got himself close, but he holds it perfectly. Well practiced, 2 seconds, 1 second. Just has to sprint the divide, and he can get there in time. Savage clutches it out for Secret.
Nice. Good shit. Let's go. You're too good, Savage. You're too good, bro.
Patience promises results. He knew how to play that. The C4 over the top, almost getting the kill. He isn't going to throw away utility, isn't going to risk things and try and go for those sneaky plays. It's the 1 versus 1 and time, eventual time. It ticks for all of us. But the attackers always suffer it first. Secret, they've done what the defenders have been able to do this game, which is to win that site.
That's the response that Secret needed. Answer a clutch from your opponent with your own clutch. Perfectly played by Savage. Great 1v2. Plays the time well in 1v1. That gets Secret riled up now, ready for this half.
Let's see, though, if there can be a change of fate here as well. I mean, the fact that Waybo almost pulled it back from losing that opening body, they trade it and then they lose the art player and just sending it in on the open breach. It's that sort of confidence. It's that sort of confidence Secret were missing when they talked about it themselves. Never shy, Waybo.
Chewbacca's making appearance on the cast today.
Will they go a bit direct? They've got the Monty. Obviously, we haven't really talked about the bans too much. Capitao is a big force operator for some of these approaches as well.
Yeah, it's just util dump operators, isn't it? Still, of course, things that Weibo can bring to the party. You've got Ying up. Glaz is going to be locked in by Turd. There's another one of those operators.
With 6 smokes.
Quite a lot to go through. Echo is going to be a bit of an issue, though, for them, especially with that Monty speakeasy. Has to be careful of those yokai drones. But good early information, getting the drones in, and now they can send in the drone that does a little bit of damage with the Twitch. And has to be careful, because there is a man waiting for the Twitch drone. Unfortunate for Weibo to not make that happen. The yokai drone from Adrian, it stays alive for the meantime. Just Mowgli being there, that presence was enough.
It's like a horror game, and there's that Echo, and there's Noah, and there's that Echo, and oh no, being battered back and forth. Noah did take a lot of damage, but they've now lost that hard breach. They've lost that route in towards the side itself, and suddenly these walls have become so much more ominous because it's narrow doorways. You're looking at Locker's door, you're looking at the door onto Cargo.
And you look at the operator that they're still in play. You have Doom on that Goyo. The canisters being placed on said doorways. It creates those bottlenecks, those choke points, which are so difficult to deal with.
And he's an operator who can do this. Go adventuring above. Now the Ram tries to make things happen, but there is obviously Doom above. More than happy to try and find some response and revenge himself. In the meantime, they're trying to cross that divide, but there's always still the threat of the Echo as well. Savage is almost caught out just from Reaps watching the angle, and he's hoping to take the head off of the next player, but here's where the pops come together. The C4 shot out, perfectly played, but they've got to bait that utility on the door, right? The expectation of the Goyo and the hope that they can find a player either side. And also, the longer this goes, the more this once again plays into Secret.
This is the play. Doom, if he can put enough pressure on Hoven and eliminate the verticality, it could come to bite Weibo into the backside during the later stages of the round.
The Echo can just read everything. Either side, every which way is one that is watched by a man who's more than happy to let the drone do all of the work. Here's the fight above. Hoven does get verticality, but he expects the swing to come through from Doom. He's not stupid. He knows what he's up against, and Reaps is up against Savage, pushes him down and drives in, but finding Speakeasy, finding the shield of the man with the kit once again. They have a man advantage, but it doesn't matter when the play comes out at that time. Hoven with the drop shot rocks Doom's world. And now in a world of a place of going for the plant, but
Echo.
Do they have the cover? That's exactly it. The man's on the drone. He stops the plant. Can they hold F in time? It has to be the perfect drive forward. Watched either side, swung either way. It's a 3 versus nobody.
Bro, more speed.
Just about. Just about. By the skin off their teeth. Wow, I thought it was over. I seen that yokai drone come in.
Yep.
But it's because the player was stacked on top of him. So Adrian had to just stun. No matter what it was, just had to go for the stun. Obviously, in the perfect scenario, he holds that until it's 0-0-0. But he just has to go for it, or else the drone's going to get shot. And yeah, it just was not enough. Oh. Not ideal for Secret losing that round. I thought they were in good shape. I mean, maybe Do you say to Jim, you have to go quicker, you have to go faster in that top floor? I will say, gotta be a hip-fire drop shot from the Ram kill for a moment. It's gotta be.
I mean, we'll see it again in a second, but I'm also curious how close...
That's hip-fire. Yeah, hip-fire, drop shot, one tap. Yep.
How close were they to getting the plant? Like, this is one of the things. I don't know if we can see that slow-mo of the end of the round after the echo, because the timer of when he started planting again must have been in the 0.0s. As narrow as possible, and 4 apiece. No give, no ground, no timeouts and conversations. Just making sure that they can sort of keep themselves punching, pushing. And as we sort of overheard from the team themselves, pace. Pace, 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 because the time has been that danger factor both times. They get the man advantage. Even if they lose it as the first engagement, as they have done both times, Weibo have this habit on their attacks of being able to retake ground. They're fearless, ferocious. And a flurry of kills often just bleeds its way into the top right of your screen. But here, on the verticality, all the bodies, apart from one, are on the watch above. Pretty traditional. Doom's in that do and die position here where you expect to get all the pressure, but you hope you can take at least 1, maybe 2 down with you. At the same sort of second, they need control of green. They need to try and just get a wrap around it. And here is that power position, and there is the man under fire soon enough.
Jim, trying to plug the holes that the breach is being made right now with, of course, those hard breach gadgets that has been brought in by Third on the recruit. So they've got, I mean, the walls opened up that they need, but as we know, clearing out this top floor, that's the tricky thing for this site. It's C4. Oh, and 2 bodies also running at Reeks, but that's good information, knowing that they're trying to retake in towards green.
Noah's able to find Turd in the meantime, though, and it's sort of just a perfect use of utility, and that's a perfect response to it. Fine. Use the C4 to cover at least the rotate and the escape. The grenade pops 1, but Savage gets 1 back, and here, Mowgli still holds on to Skybridge, still holds on to the stretch, and they expected it! And even then, he arrives all the same. 4 versus 2. Speakeasy's going to bleed his way up into the engagement, gets the body. And now from this, a 3 versus 1. Reaps. He's all that's left, and he almost pulled off this same sort of clutch before. He almost made things happen on a previous engagement. But they're not even offering it to him, Demo. They know the stakes. And they're not hungry.
Oh,
You guys are so much
I mean, the retake was just phenomenal. The way they used the C4, the way it was used to get the player off the rappel, first for a split second, retake in towards green. I mean, Secret, I mean, that's what it's about. It's seeing the opportunities and taking advantage of it.
5-4. 5-4, a never-ending trade, Demo. Just a never-ending call and response between these two teams. And, I mean, it's an eventuality in these games, I think.
Now, where do Waybo go?
Defenders, protect your bomb.
What is the approach of the attack? Because we've seen it last time in towards that top floor. They went pretty traditional. Didn't pay off for them. It did come down to a 1v2. Obviously, that Savage had the clutch, but it was more a pacing thing more than anything. So I wonder, you know, with that Tachanka now from Adrian, is that going to just have that extra added difficulty that they have to try and combat against?
Five 5-4, though. And you sort of look towards that lineup. I'm wondering if it'll get locked in the bottom right. There's a little bit of a change. We still have a shield on the board. The Ying's gone. One more of those util dump. One more of those sort of rest control back from a round slipping away. And you think about how close this round was last time. Could very well be a 5-4 position for Weibo instead. How much of the drive was the Ying, and how much was it in awareness from the side of Secret? They know June was underneath last time. They know he was the pressure Will they go for the hunt? It seems so, as Reaps is on the hunt. They've got the track on him. Where can they go next here, Demo? The man has gone up Skybridge.
It's the big old loop-de-loop. Trying to get back as quick as they can. And thankfully they've been able to do so. So no picks as of yet as we near that 2-minute mark of the round. Quite a decent amount of util though that Secret gonna try and place against Waybo. Mostly whenever we're looking towards Rocket Stairs, they have a smoke primed and ready in the form of Savage, and he's gonna be playing pretty big here towards Mez. Can try and smoke off this blitz if he feels a little bit of pressure is gonna come onto him. Doom. Also, I like this, setting up the mute jammer late, because then it allows somebody to play in behind that table, and it stops that Deimos track coming in.
Yeah, it gives you that sort of unawareness of the position, right? They know the Deimos is underneath. They know there's some hard work to be done here. The electric's on the wall itself. That wasn't really a problem last time round, and the C4 is not a problem this time, but there's time to waste. And time, that eternal problem, is something that Mowgli's going to speed up a little. There goes your vertical player. There goes the man trying to clear the electrics off the wall, and now, where do you go? What do you do? What do you try and drive through? It's Turd. Wants to slip his way up the stairs itself. Isn't going to entirely throw himself into Savage, but at some point he's got to do something. As Arpe goes down, more smoke to drive over Shield. It's just under absolute hell. But the pinch does get at least one. They have some tentative control and an engagement that goes Hoven's way. Said it many times, Waybo. They're a team that can be pushed away and just come right back like elastic.
However, we still have the Tachanka. Adrian has his shield intact, and he can just start flaming out that door. They're going to have to go elsewhere.
Mowgli's tucked on the default as well, so it's a quick rotate. It's a 30 seconds left rotate. Speakeasy shows his side to one and picked up from the other, but Hoven does get Adrian, and Doom gets one back with a blitz. Can't get any further.
Fight, you guys just say my name over and over again. I can't say it properly. Yeah, I knew, but I was just focusing on my stuff.
Well, at this point, Waybo
I think we can do a default.
Opting for their timeout.
Let's talk, huh? We always play 45 every round. So pay attention. They start the round, they are trying to get a new place to fuck them, right? Or is hiding, or is trying to do something hurt. So the way that's two rounds. Basement is on top. So let's bring Doka, Lyle. Let's go for the first kills. Let's focus on the first step. After the open advantage, we decide how to play, how to split, what is the next goal, you know? Okay. But from now, we need to fix the start of the round. See who is playing more aggressive and go for this guy. Okay, guys? Let's go, guys. Let's go. It's easy. 2 rounds, guys. 2 rounds. Easy job for you.
Well, Gohan, the words of wisdom being, we're always playing 4v5.
Yeah.
That's, I mean, straight away, yeah, that's usually a problem. In a game where it's a 5v5, they're just not getting those opening kills.
At all.
Nope.
Every single opening kill this map has gone in the favor of Secret.
Mm-hmm.
And the fact that Waybo have been able to turn 4 of them away sort of says some of the strengths, but
more questions, I think, for Secret then. They'll be thinking, oh, well, how are we losing if we're getting the opening pick? So
yeah.
It swings both ways, doesn't it, sometimes with those stats? That's why sometimes stats aren't everything. It's all about, doesn't matter how you've played in the past, how you play in the day.
Well, let's talk about how they're playing on the day, and for everything that sort of put themselves together, there is only 3 rounds at this showdown where somebody on either team hasn't at least gotten a 3K or better. And again, in terms of that list of players, you've got at least 5 different names on the 2 teams. It's not just singular performances. It's not just single sort of show up and put them down. Look at Hoven, Reaps, Doom, Noah. It's just a back and forth of the brutality of these front lines, as we said it would be. But 6-4. Obviously, this is the map that Secret wanted to bring themselves towards, and they've been able to find the first opening kill. They've got the entire map.
Takes down Mowgli. Now the Ram is in a position where he can start opening up the flooring. Still, though, there are roamers that you have to worry about, mainly being Jum, who is currently up in Mez. Noah's just take a bit of a dander upstairs, being able to find one onto that Ram, so the vertical destruction has been dealt with. But still, Jum, being that menace, is still in towards that top floor.
Obviously, they've lost their abilities to destroy that top floor too, right? The Ram's gone. They know that it's ground that has to be handed over, and Jum can just play it. Jum can just sort of pulse and read and maybe play against the IQ hunt, as we saw a second ago. Ooh, will he get lucky through a drone hole? It's not always the game that we get the fullest take, more of a bingo card than anything, but it has to come out together at some point, doesn't it? Reeps. That's going to be the kind of death Savage is going to be fuming about in the highlight clips. But it's a 4 versus 3, and this is still that problem. Jum, he's telling everything.
Yeah.
Oh, he's reading everything, and he might be
info.
about to get himself a second. Will he spray? Yes is the answer. The shotgun, ooh, pops too, but doesn't quite get the connection with the player, and this is that duck hunt game I talked about. One up, one down, both can read each other, and actually Jum wants to try and get in close and personal, but now they know he's up there. Maybe we hit sight.
Noah being able to pick up one, but a minute left, and they're trying to knock onto the door, but there's no real denial. Noah going crazy, but he does get traded out. Now a 2v2. Jum's been able to come back in sight. They still have Adrian. Does he have any echoes, though?
This is that question we posed before. It's the sort of response to the IQ's job, but Turd, in the meantime, drops Jum, leaves just Adrian alone. He has 2 impacts, but they have 30 seconds, and he has one down. He almost finds the side of the second. They know he's putting the pressure. The long throw doesn't quite net the player, but the player gets him right back. Turd.
Let's win this shit, guys. Come on. You're the best. Come on. Come on.
Oh, he baited the revive. Went for the res. Adrian is thinking, oh, I can jump up on this table, look down onto him as he going for the revive, but no, that was the bait. And he's fell for it. Obviously, for Waybo, being able to pick up Savage with the way that kill was handed to them, that's a massive opportunity to really start flooding through the bomb sites, because you don't have to worry about that Tachanka. Like, imagine them trying to strong-arm their way in through Boiler if everything's on fire. That was never going to happen, so I think that was very fortunate they were able to gain that pick. Secret not wanting to go back to the basement, whereas I kind of looked at it and thought, you know, that kill right there, that's an avoidable kill. It is. So you could easily run it back if you wanted to, but no. Secret not opting for it.
It's that constant step in, right? It's that constant aggression. Waybo love to apply, and, well, they're trying to hide Jum. It's sort of breakdancing a little.
Stanky leg on the ground there. See that?
When we got the mime that UB had do the sort of like animations, get him to do that.
Sadly, though, hiding the Cade is one thing, but they have impact EMPs anyway. So doesn't really matter, I don't think, in the long run. They've still got ways of clearing that Cade, even though they did try and hide it.
They might be trying to lead in towards the Bandit, right? We don't know how present the Bandit was, but they've also got the Twitch and need be, and well, here's the Bandit's position, fully locked up here. They know that it's a tricky clear if they go for the verticality. And that might be something that they sort of go, yeah, come use them over here. Oh no, you thought. But it depends which way they approach, which way they drive the shield. Again, the control of the swing, just getting some of this precursor work done. There's at least one of the impact EMPs as the wall will get opened up just in time.
Surprised they didn't go for a Bandit trick there. I mean, other than just an impact EMP, there wasn't much, so Mowgli maybe could have tried his hand at it, but thinks against it. So now there will be a breach in towards the office. Speak easy. Setting things up with this Monty, gaining a bit of information, but his vision will be blocked, and an early smoke.
That's fine. It's sort of just bringing the utility out, but the C4... Oh, no! Couldn't have been further away for it to be the truth, but the truth might be that we're hurtling towards map 2 here. A 3 versus 5 situation. They've lost the shield, they've lost Arpe. There goes the impact EMP they might have been able to use, and they're still trying to find their way on towards the walkway. Hoven's holding an aggressive pose, and he's prosing the idea of swinging in. There's the flash. Or smoke even. But look, they've almost for a second wanted to move in towards it, but think about the site demo. Secret, they've peeled back.
Yeah, they've realized we don't need to try and hold in towards the top floor. I mean, Turd's in, and yes, he may be able to get the kill, but this isn't the issue, Emmy. He gets the one, but everyone else can just come back and get him. I mean, Turd's tried to make the play, but even if he was in that position, you need Reeks with a diffuser to get the plant down.
Yeah, a gambit that unfortunately hasn't quite paid off, and as Noah puts it into the 4 versus 1, Hoven, he's at some big moments, but it just seems like there's a little bit too much to pass with a C4 end. Secret almost going towards OT, but can just secure their own map and get themselves one step closer to the main stage.
Good opening for Team Secret. Solid map from them. I mean, Waybo did make it difficult. Some great individual moments. We've seen that, but overall, I think the game plan was a lot stronger from Secret. That's step by step again for them. They take the first map, and Waybo, they need to respond as we head into map number 2.
It wasn't that it was a million miles away, but Noah is sort of a mid-table player for the team. Usually steps foot out.
You just called Noah mid?
For the
You called him mid?
mid-table for the
Whoa!
team. For the
Call him
team.
mid?
I'm gonna throw you out in a second again. No, he usually sits in the middle of his team's table, but look at that, shining bright at the top. Doom and Savage both having their own moments. Hey, who knows who will step up next? It'll have to be after the break.
Honestly, a lot of players are scared of you, obviously. We were suspicious because you're too good. Like, that was literally what happened. And I'm the one who sent the email. So, like, I'm the one who did it. That's the story, right? None of us really thought that you were legit.
Jack, fresh. Oh my god, please, can you sign this photo of you?
How do you have this photo?
We're really big fans, actually. Can you tell us about this photo?
No, I shouldn't.
Well, this is actually Mama Fresh delivered this.
Excellent. My mother has been providing photos again. Great.
Thank you all for the broadcast. Thank you so much. Lovely to meet you.
I'll reinforce off these 2 walls here. This would be a flex wall. We're gonna put it like this, just so it's like a flex. I don't know how I'm gonna do that. Then positioning, we'd have the 2 barrel play here with the C4 and like the DMR. You could play between like weed, like the metal area is what we call it. So we can either react to that or the weed wall based off what they're doing. We'd start the Valk. I'll just put it right here so it's easy to see on that side. And then we'd have the Fenrir as the last guy. He'd be here, contesting for tool side, really kind of be in the menace over there. And this guy as well, like when they're trying to go for that tools wall, I'd have these zombie pressed up unless there's lower pressure, like trying to contest off that door, just being menace a little bit. Not really looking for a pick, but looking to delay time.
Basically, for the start, we can put it like that. So I would put him like around these windows. So if we need help to hold or whatever, would be rotate. If your Ozame really fall back and manage to, like, it would be around here. Right?
She'd be like all the way back. I'd put her like right here probably.
Like the things how it would go as well. Like once we take like the control of garage, I would put maybe the Capitan around this area just to hold this position. Normally they place our jabs and rotate out for the dart to help onto the push. I think we would put the Ing here to be playing into the main breach, but it depends on the green take. Like if you're trying to force too much the green take, I would put like the Ing here to come to try to help. But if it's like you're just giving away, trying to fall it back, I would just keep the Ing there. So like if you guys are just falling back to hold into power positions, I would say that the Deimos can come from below as well to try to help. And as I said, this Hibana here, it will be like a flex. I don't really count on her. It's more to get the Clash attention. If Clash is still here, it's
that's
good.
the biggest thing. I would want the Clash to rotate over play Ivy. That's like what I'd want originally.
Yeah, so if like the Clash goes back into this side, I would put this Hibana to try to sneak in and play.
Two-barrel playing back here is ideally what it'd be.
And then after like dealing with the Clash over here, I think this guy would be already played, so it's like he won his fights as well, or he lost, and then we got the control of this area, kind of, and we just scrubbed.
That's assuming nobody dies early. Or just swings and gets killed, you know?
Exactly.
Because that's what happens a lot of times in our game.
Like I'm making the capital fire over there, and then
dude,
explode it.
I'm gonna go call out.
I still have the flashes from Hibana.
It could go either way, frankly.
It could go either way. Very, very close.
Yeah.
Maria with a cake. You know what time it is. Birthday time. Today is Twister's birthday. Let's go. Cadê ele? Where is him? Where is him? Ô, Twister, chegou o teu momento. He didn't notice me. Ô, Twister, todo mundo? Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday.
Well, a hard-fought first map is one that Secret are just able to get that little bit of an edge over, but Waybo were knocking on the door of round success after round success. Clutches like that can only happen if you're feeling up for the fight, and here an even half leads to a max regulation time win for Secret, but that was their map, and Border up next. Well, that could be someone else's.
It's going to be a big old showdown whenever we go to Border, and as we know on a map like Border where a lot of crazy things can happen, I think it actually suits the kind of APAC vibe that Weibo have, where they can be very aggressive. I mean, there was a number of different occasions that we seen throughout Lair where they were just up for a fight, jumping out of windows, catching Secret by surprise. In a map like Border, you can do a lot of that. However, I think Secret are a very good Border team. I think Savage can call it really, really well. It's one of their top maps that they've had throughout the year. So yeah, Border, it's going to be a tough one for Weibo to take down. Secret still think the favourites here.
Well, like a bus, we wait for a while, don't get it, and then two show up for the second time today. Demo, you and I will bounce back into Border, but will we have a success story or send somebody home in Border? Now, though you have your belief inside Secret for the Border game that they can play, they haven't played it at this SI yet. But against them, Waybo have had 2 innings, NIP and D plus Kia, both of them wins for Waybo. Obviously, 2 teams that are no longer competing here for the chance at progressing along the boards, but still, they put up their own fight in what is the toughest tournament of the year. Have Secret learnt lessons from watching the VODs, or will Waybo punish mistakes?
Seems to be that Mowgli having some issues. Hopefully we'll get it fixed and straight back in. Everything's good. Looks like it. Just some
I'm getting your
mic issues.
Your color analysis of tech issues.
You have to do it all in this job.
I'll cast what's happening and you tell me the breakdown. Seems like they're struggling, damn it. Seems like they're a little bit confused.
May have to get a cable change, perhaps. That might be what they have to adapt to.
Maybe we can get a top-down view.
We don't want the top down, we want the under the table view. That's what we need to see. What's going on in the back of the PC?
We'll hopefully be back in just a second. Now, Border, as I said before, the way it sort of plays out, but as the vaguest sense, as you put it, it is a very high preference. The second favourite for Secret. Gets banned against them quite a lot.
Yep.
Waybo, 4th of 9th, but they have a recent 5-2 record on it, including, as I said before, the 2 played times here. However, that thing I mentioned earlier on, that worrying statistic I talked about back 3 months ago in Munich, it was part of the showdown. It was the second map in the showdown these 2 teams had. It was Waybo's pick then as well. And it didn't quite go in towards their favour. It was a even half as the opening half. Secret led on their defense. And Secret were just able to sort of push it over the end into a 7-5 win. Fun sort of split as well about Border. At that point, at that moment, I believe it was one of their sort of heavily preferenced, not undefeated, but they were happy to have it in their pool. They were happy for teams to take them. And then since then, I think it's never really shown up again, really. Obviously hasn't been brought in towards this tournament, at least, up to this point. But we're in, we're off, and you are all thinking Secret. Just have a thumb on the scale. You say wow, I say why?
I think it's a lot closer than maybe what I would have expected. I thought there'd be a lot more predictions in favor of Secret.
You are a bit biased.
No. I disagree massively.
Okay.
I think Secret are one of the top teams.
Where'd you get that little secret flag
Sorry, because I've not jumped on with the, APAC and all this, which happens every event, and I'm sorry I'm not the one buying into it. I think Waybo's a great team. Said they've been a great team.
Yeah.
But whenever it comes to the big dogs of what we have in the World Championship, it's a different gravy.
All right.
Of course it is.
If it was your poll, where would you have expected it to be?
70-30.
Whoa! James is going to kick down this door in a second.
By all means. I mean, there's no Aussies in this team. Why would he have a say, eh? They're gone.
Listen, it's a region thing. And the thing might start here, as I said before, actually. It was slightly incorrect. It wasn't an even half on their defense. That was the other side. It was Secret's attack that was an even half, and that was enough. It was a 4-2 on their defense. They were happy to lead in, which plays against the sort of predilections of this map. It's not quite the one that you expect that side of things to be the stronger suits. We'll see what plays in against it. Keybers and mirrors are going to be the removal. None of those extensions. We've seen some decent play of both those operators pretty continually on the other side of it. No Deimos. They don't want to deal with those players going under and getting the hunt.
Yeah, it does leave the shields open. Straight away, Speakeasy on the Blackbeard. A few things he has to be careful of, though. You've got the Legion and you've got the Ela, two things that do cause problems for the shields. Noah's been able to get a pick, I believe, through the vertical angles, and down goes Ape. That's the Nomad gone, so flanks now, potentially. Could come in for Secret, and a big old smoke to try and bat them back. Mowgli's just swung the window, I believe, and picked up a kill. This looks to be a false start for Waybo.
I mean, just sort of rebuffed at the first pass there. Stuck in the 5 versus 3. Speakeasy takes a face of shrapnel and lungs of smoke. And will be forced further back, but as you said, a false start. And unfortunately, he's sort of looking at the timer and going, okay, move on, move on. And 5 versus 2. Turns in on passport. He's going to drive himself into seating, but just gets caught out. Speakeasy now all that's left. Finds one for the trouble, but they're outside and all around. Gets 2, gets no more. Secret start as they mean to continue aggressively, violently, and in the lead.
Yeah, really aggro East Airs hold there from Secret, wasn't it? Look at the way they set up. Again, you have the walls reinforced. You also then have Office opened up where you've got the rotates too and the head holes. It's all about maintaining East. And the important player to kind of highlight is Jum, who was downstairs below East Stairs. He had the wall, the single wall in towards Tellers. It was reinforced. I mean, Jum in that position, he's playing to die. He's not going to get out of there. He's kind of trapped himself in a corner. But it's just that presence of being there where you have to try and force a fight in towards him. And if you can't fight him from going down East Stairs because there's still 2 players, it's just going to be just a gunfight against Jum where he's never going to be caught out thinking, I have to look left, I have to look right. He just can hold on to lobby, and it's very easy for him. So I love that setup from Secret where they're all supporting one another.
It's that element of aggression. It's that element that, to be fair, Waybo were very good at very good at losing the first body, fine. But then the follow-through was great. They made sure that they would keep the pressure on, keep themselves in, get internal. It's awkward on Border because Border's so thin. Border doesn't have a lot of room. As soon as they start killing people outside the building, well, it's hard to retake inside the building if you can't even get that first step right. So, Waybo have to try and get more of a grasp on the aggression that Secret laid down and sort of made that opening statement, that spiel of this is our positions and this is where I stand and this is where I will not leave. They're going to see if they can try and corner the player inside security on the CC half wall, but well, it's Noah. And he was the MVP of the first map. He got himself off to a decent start here, but not this round. Great shot from Reaps.
Great angle. Reaps able to pick up that first kill. Noah gone. The Walleye discs no longer going to be placed in and around the map. So whatever has been placed, that's it. Just have to get this fixed. This does happen. There we go. So a good start for Waybo this time. Not really interested in these, this time around, stemming it more from break. That's where they want to try and get their shield in, and that's what they've done successfully. In goes Speakeasy. Jum still putting up a fight, though, been able to take out Hoven. And speaking of the shield, Mowgli gets caught out. Speakeasy wins that engagement.
It was scrappy, and this could be the punch in the back. Jum, a second too late to the party, but able to pop himself one. Adrian, a 1 versus 2, not a lot of health, but he's going to keep himself aggressive. Oh! Oh no!
Good job, guys.
Okay. When was the last time you saw that?
Let's go.
Actually, pretty recent. I think.
Oh, really?
I think we seen one. I think during LCQs.
On a player that was still standing?
I want to say yeah.
I thought it were down.
I think definitely I've seen it before. Pretty recent.
I don't recall seeing that since the change of the operator.
I think I've definitely seen it sometime. Definitely.
I don't believe you.
Don't have to.
But the people do. I can't take that trust away. I believe you, Demi.
Sorry, I've been asked, when was the last time I go, I've seen it there. I was like, no, you didn't. Yes, I did. What do you mean? What do you mean, no, I didn't?
Listen, all right, you're right. I can't break the people's trust in you. You are the people's princess.
That trust was broken long ago.
One apiece.
As soon as you put a G2 jersey on, they don't listen to you.
Simple. One apiece. Secret. They were still being aggressive. Think about how that round cooked. The first body was lost here.
Yeah.
Beautiful take. And then everybody was lost here. They kept stepping back into the approach, right? They kept sort of saying, we'll keep fighting, we'll keep leaning in. And it's that game that they want to play, right? It's that idea of maybe the realization of this is what Weibo were doing on the first map. This is how they play their attacks. This is the team that, as I said at the start of this, were the top-rated attacking team in the entire tournament. And Secret want to try and push that team out. Secret want to knock down another top contender, confirm themselves. Top 6, confirm themselves main stage, and still in the gladiatorial arena of Paris. But Waybo, they know how to reset, rebalance, reapply themselves. As it sort of grew in, they were able to take that extra bit of pressure, and now they can see if they can try and find the fight elsewhere, hunting for it. The opening statistic absolutely disappeared from them in the first map, but
good night.
Perfect timing there from June. Went fishing and caught a big one of Blackbeard.
Yeah, one of the shields is gone. Still a second, though, as Ape's trying to make a bit of pressure. The plant is going to go down from Speakeasy. Oh, almost. A kill comes in from downstairs, but that doesn't really matter as diffusers went down. However, the numbers is very firmly in Secret's advantage.
This is it, right? They've tucked themselves in, got the plant. He's sitting in a smoke, and it's a triple kill for Doom. He gets one! Oh, he can't find it next! That was... like a horror film at one point.
Jack the Ripper coming out of the fog.
Swung round, almost got the man on the kit as well. I mean, probably still would have been picked up afterwards. Or 1 versus 4.
Don't think he could have got all 5, I'll be honest with you. I don't think so.
And they were all around as well.
Yeah.
Right, Secret, they just closed down. And I guess that's the risk of a plant like this, on a map like this, where the space is so small. It does not take long for them to realize what's going on and get themselves back.
Yeah, I think it comes to that opening pick, isn't it? Eliminating that shield upstairs. Obviously, then Weibo would think, okay, we can maybe try and get a plant off, but you're losing the picks in and around the map. I mean, we've seen that kill, the vertical kill happen. I mean, if that goes in their favor, does that change the dynamic? But still, for Secret, a good retake. Individuals winning their gunfights. So yeah, for Weibo, struggling just on the kill side. It's all right getting the plant down, but you have to stop some of the defenders. Big old kill with a C4. This kill here is a little bit messy. They're also celebrating. Edge was like, defuse, by the way, defuse. Make sure we don't forget to defuse.
We have seen that problem before. Well, another slight tech pause, another brief break in the momentum. It's been traded rounds once again, but as I said before, Secret, they got the 4-2 defensive half. Last time they went up against Waybo, and that was enough. That was enough for them to secure it in regulation, but only just. In the 7-5, as it sort of was similar on the first map, right? But the first map was the 3-3. The first map was even innings, and it still almost went all the distance. Here, with a little bit extra to sort of play with. Weibo, no, they're never a million miles away. But everything is to play for. From the start of this tournament, from the year that they have had, from getting to SI, from being that sort of talisman team for the entirety of their region. Every single best of 3, every single league map, every single showdown ends up in a best of 1.
Yeah.
A single map.
Don't forget as well with the kind of roster history that this team has had.
Yeah.
I mean, there's been a fair few amount of players in through the doors. You think back to Mentalist, whenever he was on the side. No. You then look at the European project that was attempted where Leader and Noodle were brought into the side. And I mean, there was some good success there for them. But in the long term, went back to the APAC core. I mean, even Turbo's off the roster for a short period, so they have experimented.
It's one of the things that you can't really say as a positive for some of the other big contenders. A lot of teams, they'll sort of go, we were close, let's not change anything, let's not risk the recipe altering. But
then we never see them back again.
And then we never see them back again, because everything else changes. The game changes constantly.
Players fall out of form, players find form.
It's one of the positives that's often been highlighted about the APAC region as a whole, is the ability to lean into what...
Who was...
I have
Thanks,
the same look.
Spoke for us.
I've actually forgotten my point a little bit.
Yeah, you did. You were going to say something about APAC.
Oh, yeah. They adapt new, fresh ideas. Things like, okay, sometimes it doesn't always work. We've tried stuff, but things like the LMG meta, the Finker running in meta, that was some of the first play was seen around their region. They weren't scared of going, that was this long shield, pixel, burn thing. Let's try this. Let's get this going. Let's get Finker going. And then sometimes, as I said, it doesn't always stick, and sometimes it doesn't quite map in towards the strategies of the game, but they're not afraid of change. They embrace it and try and develop it and bring it onto the main stage, and well, getting it all the way, that's the problem, right? That's the worry. They're one map shy of not making main stage SI this year, and which risks have paid off.
Shouldn't be long until we're back in. Again, thank you for bearing with us.
There's a bear with us?
Why? Just you make it.
Oh,
make
Rob.
It awkward.
Rob. He's on a stream.
You go for a lot of Milosh, Parker, anyone with a lot of
To
hair.
be fair, actually, yeah.
Ollie.
Ollie. There's a lot of bear.
A lot of hairy people.
Esque people. Hopefully in just a second. I'm expecting Savage to make another Chewbacca sound.
He's yawning. Is he bored?
Wants to keep going, right?
What's the problem, Savo? Is this a boring game for main stage? I've had better.
It's only one game today, you know. It's like the early days of the groups, and I mean, for all I talk about being one round away, or one map away, even. Secret, they're one map away from securing main stage.
They are.
They're one map away from angling themselves in.
Need to get 2 Europeans in there, don't we? Especially whenever we know we've already got 2 Brazilians and potentially another could be joining.
Yeah, or if they don't, then 2 Americans.
Could be 2 Americans, yeah. So we kind of need this, don't we, for the EU flag?
Well, APAC needs something. I'm sure they'll be saying and arguing. They need a representative, and this is their last hope, their last chance.
But I suppose this is the difference between SI and Majors. It's the top 6, not the top 8.
Yeah. And to be fair, ultimately, every single team has Brazilians in any way, so... But whoever wins, Brazil wins. 2-1. We win. We're back in the game. We're back in, and we're off to Armory Lockers and Archives. Now, with how things opened up on towards border, that, as we sort of said, there was just a lot of aggression outside the building. They kept on making sure that they could lean in. They kept on making sure that they could have the fight. A lot of it happened around East Stairs, then outside East Stairs. There was no shying away from the side of the defenders, and I wonder if Waybo are going to be a bit more reactive. There is a smoke ban. Quite a big ban on a map like this. Controls the space. I talked about it earlier when we had border. You're looking at the limitations of just getting in towards the tight rooms. You don't really care about the hard walls. You don't really care about those sort of plays because it's this. It's chasms that you have to cross before you're peppered and littered with the litany of different gadgetry and bullets. And they're just going to see if they can limit it. On the other side, the Blitz gone. But with only one shield ban, there's obviously still the Blackbeard to try and drive on, and the Monty, if needed.
Looks to be the same East Stairs setup again for Team Secret that I highlighted earlier on. Jim down inside a lobby, makes his own kill holes. He knows that's where a lot of the gunfights will come from. He has that wall he can use as cover. And don't forget as well, I mean, if you're thinking, oh, why don't you just leave Jim? Why don't you just avoid him? I mean, what's he going to do if you try and enter in towards East? Well, I mean, Jim's got a C4. And that East Stairs, that platform as you walk in the East door, it is destructible. So that's why you have to try and target that man. So I just love the setup from Secret that they go for. Turd was maybe thinking about... Yeah, he is. He's going to go for it. He's going to play the long angle. See if he can find a pick. I mean, they know that Noah plays in this pause because Noah got some kills the last time. They also picked them off from it the last time, remember? So, yep, no surprises here the way Waybo are setting up. But it just looks as though they're actively trying to avoid East, though.
It's so cautious, right? And to be fair, as I said it before, it's a bit of a massacre in that position. Instead, let's go for the pressure elsewhere, bait them in. There's the roll and a quick idea on towards Sandwich, and he's going to move behind it. But Adrian, where is he? Not enough. They're in. They're off to the site, and they're going to see if they can plant it. Doom, he's trying to scream his way up a staircase in towards Arpe, but in the meantime, they can't quite get the kit cemented. The team show up and get put back down, blow for blow, body for body. Speakeasy cannot secure it, but he needs support. He needs a friend. He needs to be able to cement one of these kills. Either side gets one, gets two. Fell like a sack of potatoes in a single 1v1 with just leftover players offering some support. And it's the end for Secret. That was nail-biting.
Wow. What a round. Utter carnage from top to bottom. The quick rush coming in from Waybo. Secret. Good response, but it still was not enough. It came right down to the 1v1. And look, were we ever in doubt that Reaps was going to lose that? I mean, it's Reaps, and we know how good the kid is. Wow. I mean, overall, for Secret, I think that first pick was important. Adrian losing that engagement, it gives them the bomb site. I mean, if Adrian was able to win that engagement as the player swings in Sandwich, and it's a different ballgame entirely.
Yep.
So it just shows the way that Border works. One kill can just unload everything that you try and do as a defensive side. I mean, this was a lovely little retake as well for Mowgli and Joom, being able to trade back and forth. But this right here, moment of glory for Speakeasy.
It just shows that secondary shotty. Any shotgun in the game, it's as good as if you have belief in it. I don't think he believed in that gun in that second. It was a pea shooter. And the two downed players sat watching each other in armory. And like, hey, how was your day? I don't know, you shot me.
I think my dad's going to beat up your dad. That's what's going on in the back.
Two apiece, though, and a quick steal on a bulletproof. Anything else they can get for the trouble, rolls straight in towards the site, and actually gets a bit of a reveal that...
Wow, good.
Oh,
good.
Second.
Really good.
Both bits of heavy intel utility inside the site are gone. And also the only cams that they really have down there.
Yeah. It's the power of the Brava. If you miss the drone, you can get a lot of value out of them. So yeah, both the bulletproofs now in the hands of Waybo. Oh, and straight away, I mean, if you hop on the cams, you'll see, oh, nobody's really in the bomb site, so you kind of know where they're going to be situated.
Remember how they tried to play this before, and as the C4 is prepped underneath the door, June wants to get a little bit further away from it.
All he has to do is almost just bait himself. Let the Monty approach him, try and say, Monty, come and get me, I'm over here, and then you hit the trigger.
Oh, had the lineup for a second, but Savage was a split faster. And he tries to lean into the next engagement, but they've been able to remove Hoven. They've got rid of the hard breach, and there's the follow-through on towards the shield. The 5 versus 3. Third suffers next from the top ropes. The 5 versus 2 is traded out. But they know exactly where he is. They knew where the kit was, and they know that they can sort of peel back. Up A and Reaps. Other sides of the map. One of them stuck in a vertical hold. Noah is above CC, and that's what Reaps is looking for right now. Noah, he's just causing problems, rotating back and forth, and this is the position, right? This is the long watch that he's got. They're just trying to get a bit of an awareness on where is safe to enter. If they can drone Reaps in towards an engagement, he might be able to net a reward, but nobody's currently home. Oh, just as he moves underneath, he's missed the rotate.
Did he hear him, maybe? I mean, again, that sound can travel up and through, but now he makes himself known. A lot of noise and almost sees ahead, but I mean, this is just really difficult for Weibo. Look at the verticality that Secret have. They can just sit in their hands and wait until you hear that diffuser start to be planted.
Well, there's the player of the smoke, so Adrian steps up to see if he can try and get a response for it, and
yeah, there it is.
Doesn't even need the glasses. It's the lockdown, it's the surround, and it's the sound of Secret.
Yeah. Probably the easiest round I think Secret have had in this map so far, no? And it's strong to say considering it is free too, but really simple for them in that late stage. Not a lot Weibo could really go for. Weibo, I mean, the faces don't look too happy. Body language a little bit tamer, whereas Secret, I mean, we've seen how they've reacted, we've seen the celebrations, it's all about that energy. Final round off the half. Secret on the defense. Went for the armory. Last time it was a Weibo rush. Oh, and some big individual kills, of course, coming in for Secret, winning those 1v1s again. Yeah, simple for Adrian.
To be fair, we had that sound from Savage at in this sort of break, but he wasn't in slow-mo. He just made that sound. 3-2.
Why am I always stuck with the recruits?
POV, you're playing ranked.
What? Poor Tim. Secret got themselves 4 on their defense last time round. They're going to see if they can try and replicate that, but so far it has been perfectly traded rounds. Back and forth. The only plant has actually been one that went away from them when they went for something a bit snappy on Bathroom, and instead of doubling down an armory before, they thought they would save it for the third swung, and that was, well, a rush. Now it only really works once. Still high caution on towards top east, a place that Doom has sort of made a benchmark of how much he can do from what is an integral power position. Locks off, obviously, the approach on office, locks off the confidence, so instead they've gone for Noah, but the longer they're here, the more chance that someone else could pop out on them. They know that they've been in that position before, and they're forcing this utility, fine. But they don't have a route in. They don't have a place they can go. They do steal the Alamine. They have the ping on the player. They might hop now on towards the back of this. I hope he gets stunned by himself if he swings in aggressively, but it's an encircling, and Mowgli offering his best support demo.
It's that trade network that you need to establish in a map like Border. You see Mowgli, obviously in catwalk kind of position, very aggressive and get pinched quite easily. You've got break door to your left, you've got the catwalk window to your right, but he has got the support. Noah again in that same position. They just love to play him, but a flurry of kills, and it's all coming up Team Secret. Noah, wow, with that Scorpion letting it sing. And a big C4 to finish it off. The big fish, that's what we call that.
Oh my god, good job, guys.
4-2. Secret have replicated what they pulled off but 3 months ago at Munich, and that water that they talked about at that major is starting to rise, starting to threaten Weibo, starting to threaten their continued route towards the main stage, towards that hammer. Secret are feeling more and more upbeat, happier, laughing. It's something that we've sometimes seen with this team. They get a bit downtrodden, they can get a little bit under the beat, but they keep it positive. The power of Mowgli and Savage making weird sounds. If it works, it works. Noah, again, as you sort of put it, the Scorpion take. The cover was great. They obviously had, as soon as Mowgli went down, they were in that position. They tried to go further with the Blackbeard, didn't quite net the results. And with the Savage Monty ban, not dealing with that. Savage has other shields he can opt for here.
Yep, that's the issue. I think I've harked on about it enough throughout the course of the year. It's just too much to ban, there really is. Wonder what the next update will bring. That's what we're also looking forward to. Don't forget, this weekend we have all of the reveals.
Ooh.
New operator, don't forget, inbound.
Ooh, that's what you're all going to be like in a few days.
Until I see that my shields have been just absolutely nerfed, and I'm thinking, the game I love, no.
The game you love.
I wouldn't be surprised if the shields get nerfed again.
Good.
Oh, I wouldn't be surprised.
Great.
Much to my distaste.
I will point out at this point, Demo and I don't know anything about what's coming.
No.
He's just depressedly guessing.
I just think it'll be like that.
All right, well, let's...
The pick rate speak for itself.
Yeah, and the ban rate, and almost Turd's rate at being shot. Reaps pre-rips for a second, but then puts it back in because nothing immediately follows through. They almost expected some of the pace that they had applied on towards top east, but not quite a front they need to feel affronted by. Ooh, what are you trying to catch here? Find the electrics on the wall.
Yeah, not in range. Needs to get a little bit closer, but that's the issue. He doesn't know if he can just walk in towards east as of yet. So just going to hold his ground until then. Look at this big old wraparound here from Team Secret. Just going to try and blitz in towards the office using the shield as that focal point.
Well, they've got to get this player out before they go for any of the breach, and I think they'll combine it with the Thatcher. There's the roll. The C4 over the top won't quite get the player that they wanted to rock because they can play it from a bit of a safer distance. Now, as they force out this quad wall, they force Reaps into more of an aggression, more of a bit of a fight. He's not going to hand over the territory just yet, but he is able to slip away back towards Fountain Wall. They have more utility to pop. They've got that position. Fine. But it took a lot of them to rotate round to get it.
This is where Secret still not looking to commit at the moment. And they could still try and take in towards CC, perhaps try and cut off the Fountain rotates. That could be an option for them. But still, time yet to see what they want to go for. Over a minute remaining. Savage, he's sending in the drones, and almost a pick here from Ape, and yeah, looks to be that they are going to put some pressure onto that lone player inside of CC. If you take CC, you take Fountain, you take Fountain, you take the site, you take the site, you take the round.
All players still standing in the final minute. Not always the happenstance. We've happened to find ourselves stanced and posed in, but can't even get the catch on towards the close player. There's still one tuck behind him, though, and they're winning out. They went a step too far and pulled themselves back. Hoven's able to find a two-piece amongst it, but now there's only two pieces left for Secret to bite down upon another drop. Doesn't quite rock it. Adrian is down 30 seconds, and well, they're instead going to try and push. Keep the pressure on Speakeasy, keep the pressure on the Clash themselves. Don't turn away. Make sure they feel it, and that is the divide, slightly wider. That's the distance, slightly further. And that's the round, slightly more dangerous for Waybo.
Oh, Secret. That round is all about the timing. I mean, there was a method to that. Yes, you're taking early map control, and then you've got enough time to then start thinking about, okay, what else can we do? Border's a very small map.
Yep.
You don't have to do things like make sure you're not going to get flanked, make sure you're not going to have to deal with the roam clear out. That doesn't really happen in this map. You kind of know where everyone is, even without droning it. Sure, you might get caught out by the odd off-angle position or somebody sat in a corner, which did happen to them inside a CC, but it's not the end of the world. It's not going to be detrimental to it, because look at the way Secret attacked that. They were together as they went for it, using that shield in the middle of everything, and once they lose that shield, they've gained enough information they can get those trades. This point right here, Savage in the great position, that's what went on check, but Savage feeds the information back for his team, and they just knew where the positions were. It wasn't rocket science for Secret.
Waybo. You could see it on the player cams, a bit despondent, a bit disheartened. I think they can feel that sort of inevitability creeping, but that's the pressure, that's the worry. Those are the voices you've just got to try and close down and see if you can capitalize on energy reserves you maybe didn't know you had. A lot of utility being stole here on towards top east, not quite all of it, but they've done enough to make the journey in, at least in some ways, passable. And here's that heavy pressure. The Denari network will buy himself a little bit of safety from utility that might get thrown in. Forces them to have to go on slightly different angles. Forces them to have to, you know, swing in towards east, swing in towards that bit of pressure. But you can see this is the game Secret do, right? They find aspects on every single avenue of the map. They'll go in with the full width. And Savage is going to go hunting, but in the meantime, Noah's the first one to come back with a prize. Reaps gone. Quick bit of motion, quick spray, quick attention towards Arpe. He'll tuck down on break, the side of it. In the meantime, Savage just keeps stepping closer and closer towards the site itself. Doom's the man with the kit on the far side, but doesn't mean they can't suddenly alert if they can get a free pick inside here. Turd gets Mowgli. Oh, Doom gets Speakeasy, and well, there's that kit, there's that sight, and there's now that pressure. They're watching above, but they cover the smoke. Has to drop, caught by the window. A great hold. They were prepared for it, Demo. They were ready. They were wrapped around, and now there's at least one more in their favor, but a post plant right by the window, Demo.
It's that opportunity spotting again for Secret that has worked so well. They see an opportunity to get an easy pick, unresponsive from Waybo, and then once they're in the bomb site and that diffuser goes down, never in doubt in a 2v3 now. They just have to hold that diffuser as best as they can.
Hoven's able to get one from above, levels things up, but this is the problem. As soon as you go for it, I mean, you can try and long arm, but they've got fire to pop down, and Arpe,
yeah, there we go.
That's it. He cannot get his hands on that in time without being dropped. At this point, the timer will tick over. Does get one more for his trouble, but that 1 versus 1, that extra kill isn't the problem, Demo. It's that big, glaring 6-2 that'll show up in the top middle of everybody's screen.
6-2. A mountain that Weibo have to climb. Team Secret have so much breathing room, and Weibo with a timeout.
Yeah, that's the big problem we have on this 2v45. We need to understand, they are facing me, so I need help. Let's play together, let's fight together, let's go for the kills. So, for now, guys, let's just have fun. Let's try to find the first kill, play the round, the way we can have the advantage. Because the thing is, you guys are trying to play too much safe and getting them the chance to work together first. We need to reverse the shit. So guys, let's go, guys. 4 rounds. You are totally capable to win this shit, guys. Come on, I believe on you. Come on, guys. Come on, Rips. Let's go, guys. Let's go. Round by round. Let's go. Put the philosophy in practice now. Let's go, yeah. Let's go, guys. No pressure, nothing, just the game. Come on, guys. Let's go. Let's go.
A big 4 rounds coming up for Weibo if they want to make that comeback. But Secret at the moment, just in the flow state, aren't they? Doesn't look as though anything's going to slow them down. Top floor is being locked in.
I mean, I said it on the first map, right? You sort of had a couple of big-name players from either team stepping up, and here, Doom and Adrian, 20-6 between the pair of them. There's just not really an answer that's coming through from the side of Weibo. As I said before, they've sort of suffered the wrong side of the approach. They've suffered on their attack, and now that's 4 rounds in a row. 2 either side of the divide that Secret has built themselves around. And not winning a single defense. I mean, Waybo don't even have the confidence of going to a site they've locked in. They have to try and make things happen, and it's very fair. I think it's great advice. Round by round. It's just the game. Have fun with it. That doesn't mean you don't feel the pressure. Doesn't mean you don't feel the weight of all the eyes of a region upon you. Doesn't mean you don't feel the fact that there's 4 rounds you have to lock in against a team that is oh so locked in.
Look at the lineup from Secret. They may try and finish this in style. This screams of the classic Archives take that Savage knows oh so well. Everything is set up correctly. You have the Ying on the sandwich to flash the entirety off that site. You have Mowgli and the Thatcher to catch any C4s that could be tossed to Adrian, who'll be coming in through the Archives door, and to top it off, Savage on the glads to smoke it out and pick up these kills.
Well, they're in, they're off, they're going for the plant. Speakeasy's trying to read it over, and Doom is able to find the first, the clash. He's spraying on the wrong side, and Reaps up top, can't quite find the man with the blitz shield on his back. Arpe does get a kill with the punch, but it's a post plant. 3 versus 4, but the clash could be big. Drives up to the door, forces them to have to try and go a bit wider. Reaps is on the kit. Reaps is getting it slowed down, but he's caught by Savage. Swings round for a double, 2 versus 2. But the clash still stands, still burns electricity, so they have to drive themselves in. The cover from the top rope. They can't make it in time. There's one of 4.
Oh, a lifeline has been given over to Waybo. The post plant not strong enough for Secret. I mean, everything up to that, was perfect. We've seen the Thatcher catch a C4. Plant goes down, the coverage is there. But that shield blocking the diffuser, that was the issue that Secret did not take into consideration. And that's what they could not get past. Whenever you lose the player who's over towards the Archives window, it allows for that diffuse to happen. Clash only has to worry about one angle, and the shield can cover that. Weibo, there's one.
There's one.
3 more to go.
Step at a time. Round at a time. Bit at a time. And they've rebuffed the rush. They've rebuffed the post plant. Even if it was that situation, they've had what would be probably the most chaotic comms anyone would fall through. Yeah. It's a rush, most people know. You have a response. As you said it, you saw the ops and called it immediately. So would they. But we've seen misplays in those well-known situations before, and Waybo have made it stick. So might buy them a bit more energy than otherwise. Another sort of standard round there. So, I don't know if that gets picked up on our side, but 6-3. There was a lot of shouting that was happening. Something has happened on A stream.
Which, again, we don't care.
We don't care.
We're all about B stream.
We are all about B stream. Medics cares, he says, in our ears. Oh, Medics doesn't care. He's changed his mind.
He's locked in.
He's locked in, and so are we. 6-3, and I said it, it's 1 of 4. Waybo still have a long, shaky road to walk. And at this point, we're not getting a secondary rush. Instead, a similar lineup as before, but the shield of Savage will try and do the distance. And I said not a rush, but he's instantly found one. The impact will hit. He can't quite get the kill. Behind you is Mowgli, and Mowgli pulls Reaps out, sprays onto the next, slip via Fountain, but Turd with a massively important trade. Now, Savage has taken a lot of damage. You're looking at 2 impacts, 2 C4s, and 2 potential bits of danger they can try and lead themselves into, as well as having to pass through, obviously, the chance at the danger. Is it worth taking just that single player down?
It's a big snatch in the early game for Secret. Trying to take that immediate control of CC, pick off the lone player. They were able to do so, but like you mentioned, the trade was there to come out from Weibo. And Savage, I mean, I just don't think Savage is really going to have that much of an impact. I mean, a shield on low HP, as good as dead a lot of the time. You know, anything can kill you. A strong gust of wind a lot of the time will kill you, so you need to just watch yourself. Looks to be just a direct plant, and Savage has been able to get himself in, but he doesn't have the kit. It's Jim who has the diffuser.
Yeah, they've got to be so aware of this, right? And Savage has tucked himself in, but with the Solace on the board, Arpe could try and cause some problems, but Arpe's busy on the other side, on the other sort of angle, and there's the spray through. Turd suffers next, but Hoven's actually the one to be able to get rid of Doom. That's that kit cold. And at this point, it's just trying to find a pick here for the side of Secret. Doubled up on the verticality, but Savage goes down inside the sights. They've got to win this engagement, and well, as Turd locks in Savage, Noah's able to at least get that verticality, but a 3 versus 2, no kit, 50 seconds. Okay.
Jum wandering off with a kit was very surprising. Oh dear, Hoven has been caught out on the verts. Adrian with an absolute freebie in the round. Still that 2v2, and you look at where the players have pulled back. No longer in the bomb site. They know they have the kit.
Yep.
30 seconds. This is up to Secret to make this happen.
Also still have the default just above their shoulders, giving that sort of overwatch, that overline, that lifeline to the intel. They'll know. As soon as they either take that camera out or go for the kit itself, they know when they need to impact. And there it is, as I said it. The cam had the watch, they had the player, and now, oh, they have the Revenger. 1 versus 1 Noah. I said it before, was the MVP of the first map. He's going to tuck himself for the plant, and Arpe can read this perfectly with his gadgetry. 3 seconds. Just going to play with the shotgun, and played it perfectly. That's 2. Halfway there. 1 round at a time. Not done yet.
This is an interesting game. Secret have been stalled out. Timeout is still available, don't forget, for Twister.
It is.
I'm sure he'll get in there at some point just to try and settle the nerves. But just a slight road bump here for Secret. However, that is the rotation done. That's the top floor defended. That's the vents defended. Now we go to the third choice. Now we go to bathroom tellers. This was a great opportunity spot from Secret the last time they were here. They found the lone player in sight, they picked him off, and then they had full site control and they get that plant. I think Waybo know how aggressive Secret are being in this game. They want that early map control, they want that first pick.
Here it was. That was just that first sort of strike. As you said, the aggression on the first pick, straight in towards CC. And straight out. This take as well. I mean, unlucky positioning, who knows? But the kit going down where it was is probably the biggest blow. Great response there from Noah, but with time against them, what else could he do? Where else can they go? Reaps wanted to get the lead in there. Just popping his head outside, but doesn't really feel like what Secret they're going to give themselves over towards. They've gone quick. They've gone slightly less quick, and now I'm wondering if they're just going to try and slow things down again. Get back to the game they had.
Yeah, no point dragging your heels again. Just take it that step by step if you can. I mean, this bomb site, you can go pretty minimalistic. You can take in towards east, and that's all you need. I think that's what they're trying to achieve here at the moment. You can see Noah and Mowgli trying to work that east as best as they can. Probably need to get Savage in, though, with a shield at some point, of course, as that main driving force of this team. Adrian will be droning for said shield. Also on the Twitch, so we can try and pick off a bit of util. However, loses the drone to the man inside of Archives, who now slips his way out. Hoven on that Solace. He seen that Twitch drone coming from a mile off. There goes the second, too.
Talking of a mile off, Mowgli still watching on the long distance here, and you can see that Arpe's curious about finding the fight. On towards the watch, but as the Ella gets tracked, it's a close fight with a shotgun as Mowgli covers the distance and gives them that one step ahead. Reaps, though, responds loudly. Swings onto Adrian, swings onto Savage. Takes the pair of them down for his third. We know what he's capable of, and now's the time to prove it, but Noah has the proof just as underlined. It's the swing on 90s. Hoping for the fourth, and he just can't find the Taylor. Doom gets the down. Finally gets the confirm. Noah alone in a 1 versus 3. Has the track on Reaps. Calls him out. You want the ace, you've got to come and get it, but Turd has the cover. 3 of 4 demo, 6 to 5.
Focus, guys, focus.
One more step, one more brick.
They're doing it. Oh dear. Surely the timeout from Secret.
Last one is gonna be Army, you guys.
Gotta be.
Gonna play more aggro probably, like on this.
Because they're losing confidence. Savage is called more aggro. No timeout. Doesn't look like from Twister. I mean, that is... But this is something that Twister does. He knows this team so well.
Yep.
If Savage is calling well, and it's in that flow state, let him be. No point you getting in there and trying to, you know, disrupt him. Just let Savage play. That's what Twister says. If he's calling well, I don't go in. But it is always that risk, Twister, of not now then when we get to OT and you've let it slip. Oh, it's a tough one. It really, really is. But he has faith. He has that faith that his team can do this. Still, 1 round is all they need. They've had 3 cracks at it so far. This is the last one before we get to OT.
5 seconds to insertion.
Said at the time. What else can you say in a timeout as it was put? Round by round. Know the team, have fun. They're having fun. They've been able to find something they've been missing for a long time. A team that's often sort of cited for the fun that they'll have in a server. And here, just a renaissance in the city that founded that. Can they try and add to the artwork upon the wall with this comeback from 6-2 we started? And only 1 round away from OT. Secret cannot get this final landing on their attack. Last time here, they tried to rush. They got a plant. It got defused. They couldn't quite get their way around, but a clash was on the board as well as a Glaz. Both those are gone this time round. Very different approaches, though, because of it. In the meantime, Hoven underneath. Just get some of the control, but they're quite spread out here. Joom, he's on the far side. Joom's looking for that other bit of progression, that other bit of growth. On the hats, ready to try and get an escape if he needs to, but steady control. And towards top east and across the walkway.
Oh, Hoven, wrong time to make that approach. Joom has beheaded him. Down has happened on to Mowgli, but nobody has followed up, so still potential for the recover. Turd stuck in the corner. There's a Blackbeard on the other side of the wall to him. Needs to be careful, and Waybo, I think, are trying to get some picks back. They're trying to go aggressive, but Secret are ready for it.
5 versus 3. They've got Mowgli back up, and now eyes on the site. They're still quite spread out. All the way towards the top east, all the way to CC. But around the site, they have grown. Around the site, they have set up shop. And they're ready to try and cash out and move on and prepare themselves for the main stage. The C4 ripped and ready to go, but in the meantime, fights are happening. Down short, down long. It's pressure that's about to swing right up to the player. Mowgli and Adrian, 1 apiece, leaves just 1 alone. Oh, they can't make it happen. APAC and SI cannot find the secrets to making main stage as Weibo fall the last dance. But everyone else can as they confirm themselves as one of our top 6 competitors. Team Secret progress to main stage, the live stage, and Weibo's run ends here.
Commiserations to Waybo. The last hope for APAC is gone. Team Secret, look, I think they've had a stellar year. They've had a stellar competition so far, and I think it's a well-deserved main stage, no doubt about that. From the G2 game last night into Waybo today. Not an easy run for Secret. Some big opponents he had to take down along the way, but we will see that team again this weekend on that main stage.
They fought as hard as they could. They almost pulled back that comeback on the second map, the 6-2 to a 6-5. They kept things fighting as intensely as they could. But unfortunately, Secret, as they've often done, they just had done enough. They just got themselves into that solid position. And now they get to confirm themselves. I mean, you got to give credit, though, to Waybo. The run that they've had throughout this tournament has been brilliant. As I said, they came into this day as the top attacking rated team. Unfortunately, Secret's defenses proved just a little bit too much, Demo.
Yeah, I mean, overall, I think Secret just had that steady control throughout the game. On a map like Border, yeah, it's a good map for them. We knew this. It's very high preference. A lot of teams will not play them in Border because they know it so well. And look, Waybo, credit to them. They almost made that comeback. But still, Secret find a way. I mean, Noah today, I mean, everyone today, I thought was fantastic from Secret. Everyone had a job. And now for Secret, you look ahead to the next game. And you keep going, and you keep going. That's the mentality for this team.
What else can you sort of say about them? Apart from the fact that we've had as many lower bracket runs at SI as we've had. They've been able to dispatch a couple of teams on this route, but that doesn't mean there's not the fair share of problems ahead of them. However, they get those 2 days before we hit the live stages to sort of rework everything, reweigh everything, see how things have shaped up, and get their chance at continuing on. Obviously, throughout this second map, we've had different people show up. The first was a lot of Noah, a lot of action there. It was Adrian, it was Doom, Mowgli had a couple of big moments at the end, but as you said, it was sort of the same across the board. Unfortunately, Weibo couldn't quite match some of what they've had before. You know, Reaps couldn't quite activate, and maybe that's just Secret. They know this team. They've beat this team twice in 2-0s before, and we'll have to kind of find out if that was the lockdown and see what happens in the next year for Weibo's Siege.
I mean, I think for Waybo, it's the building block, isn't it? Obviously coming in for the past stage, new players coming into the roster, making them mesh, making them fit. I mean, the coaching staff as well. I mean, Gohan coming in, I think I've seen the change straight away with Gohan being on the side. So it's not all doom and gloom, you know, for Waybo. And it's about building for the next year and go again. Come around, you know, here we are standing at SI26, SI27 could be a whole different story for them.
Well, here is that big bracket, and as you can see, no Secret progress. The other game on A stream is still going. Fluxo, W7M, and SSG. Oh, as we get the sort of direct feed in here, they've just started their own Border, believe your eyes. As we get it. Oh, this was the second map. No, it's the third, because the graphic at the top says so. Either way, there is obviously still Siege ongoing. We have what is a back and forth, but Bravo stream for the day is done, as Waybo is as well. And that means that eyes on towards that main stage demo.
Yeah, again, we still need to find out who the final team is to make our top 6. And I think that's where we're going to go.